Let me record. I'm so sorry for those who are not around and who missed that part. Okay, I hope you were still nonetheless taking down notes. Again, we are already bilingual. And if you want to learn more languages, then we are on the road to becoming multilingual. Okay. And of course, this multilingualism enhances our mental abilities. Okay. It sharpens our memory. Next, studying another language makes us smarter, of course. It's all in the brain activity. It improves our critical thinking skills and it stimulates our creativity. Okay. All right. So again, important. It makes us smarter, improves our thinking, critical thinking skills, and stimulates our creativity simply because our brain is working. Okay. All right. If you are bilingual or multilingual, you will have more career choices than your monolingual counterpart. This holds true, okay, especially to those who are looking to have their careers in international scope, no? For those who are looking to have global careers, not just work in the Philippines, but also abroad. Okay, if you can speak Spanish, if you can speak other languages, then you will have more career choices. Okay, you will be more competitive in the global job market. Right. And with that, of course, you will have higher salary. Okay. Just take a look at of course, I'm not saying you all should do this job, but just take a look at those Spanish speaking call center representatives in the Philippines. No, they have a salary of at least, no, range lang ha, salary range. I'm not saying exact, but there's a range between like 70, 80,000 to 90,000 pesos. That is the salary range of the call center agents in the Philippines who can speak Spanish, right? Again, I don't want you, I don't want to derail you from your course or desired path, but that is just one way to look at how having foreign language skills can improve your way of living, salary, job wise. Okay. Now, why do we learn Spanish? Why learn Spanish? Okay. Right. Bakit nga ba ako nandito? Dahil lang ba required ito, no? It's just, just getting it done, ma'am, para makapasa because required by the university, required by my course, no? I have to do this. No, of course, that's how you feel. But I want to put value to that, no? I want to make you realize that there is more to that than just, passing, just to pass, just to graduate. Okay. You are already lucky that you are able to have foreign language course or class here in the university because back in the days during my time, wala pang foreign language class. And I love learning languages and I was really, hoping and looking forward to having a foreign language class in the university first because it's cheaper. No. And second, because yun nga, I love learning languages and I started studying Spanish and other languages on my own as early as a child. I don't know the age, I don't remember, but I remember I was studying, googling, searching all these foreign languages noon pa with the very old PC, personal computer, and this old scratch card of internet. I always, finish that. I always get one from my mom and dad. I sneak one and then scratch it and load it up in the internet and then use it for this Google. I don't think by Google, no, that time Internet Explorer pa yata nun. And then, yeah, type in and there, no, basic countings in Russian, in French. Yeah. So that was my calling. And I didn't expect na magiging foreign language teacher ako pala. Fast forward to today. Even my course is communication. I finished the bachelor's degree of communication. Okay. Right. But I was all doing and studying foreign language on my free time and on my own will. And that's what led me to becoming a foreign language teacher. It wasn't even part of my bachelor's degree. There we go. Well, anyway, enough about me. Again, you guys are lucky you have this because, again, if you want to study languages outside the university for Spanish, no, in Instituto Cervantes, Manila, the first level is around 6,000 pesos. That's just the beginner level, and I guess beginner level half. So there's like a 1.1. There's also a 1.2, no, and that's just the very basic. And there's still the next one, a 2.1, a 2.2. Can you imagine you have to pay 5,000, 6,000 each? Okay. Spanish, since it's the most commonly offered foreign language in the Philippines, it's a bit cheaper. When you want to study other languages, for example, German, no, because I used to also enroll myself in German classes in the Philippines. It's really expensive. 10,000 naman yung beginner level, 10, 12,000, a 1.1. When I was having my intermediate and advanced classes, ayan na, nagiging 20,000 na per level. Can you imagine? Okay. Even taking the fluency exam is 10,000, 20,000 pesos. If you failed the exam, you throw the money, 20,000. Okay, out of the window. So this is a really serious. If you want to learn languages, you have to shed money. Okay, so you are all lucky. How much are you paying for this one course, no, per unit? So I think 3,000, 2,000. But it's still a lot of money, huh? Okay, you remember that. Don't waste this tuition fee that your parents are giving you. Okay, do your best here in our Spanish class. Anyway, I assure you, as long as you attend our classes and you do all your assignments and quizzes, you will all pass with flying colors. Okay. I am even surprised myself, no, sa mga grades ng previous students ko. Because I've never had that grade. No, for those who are really active, I've never had that grade, and they all had that. I wouldn't say how many grades. No, let's see if you will also get that. This Zoom will end in 2 minutes. If this ends, let's open a new Zoom with the same link. Okay. All right. Going back, learning Spanish will help you gain a better understanding of English. Why? They sound so different with each other, no? Why? Because Spanish is a Romance language. It is derived from Latin, the language of the ancient Roman Empire. And what is the connection of that to English? Since many English words are also of Latin origin, when you learn a vocabulary in Spanish, you will simultaneously be expanding your English vocabulary. Okay? All right. What is this vocabulary which is similar to Spanish and English? This is now cognates, which we will be discussing later. No, later part pa yun. We have cognates which are similar or exactly the same words between two languages, amongst languages that have the same meaning. All right. But key point here is they belong to, or some words are originated in the same Latin, no, language. That's why they are mostly similar. All right. Okay, let's wait for the Zoom to end before I proceed to the next na lang, no? So that we won't be cut off. Okay, please open a new Zoom with the same link. Hold on, hold on. Okay. I will see you in the next Zoom. But where is it? All right, so again, see you in a while. Record. Is everyone back? I hope so. Okay. Now, I hope you did not forget what I just said and mentioned earlier. So yan nga, we will be learning and improving our English vocabulary by learning Spanish. And not only that, we will also be looking at how similar the Spanish grammar is to the English. Of course, they're also different, so we can compare and contrast the two. Okay? So this will now raise awareness of how we construct English grammar as well as Spanish grammar. Yung mga mahilig mag-correct dyan, no? Mahilig, ay, wrong grammar si ma'am. Nako, wrong grammar si ma'am, no? Yung mga mahilig maging grammar police. Okay, ang tawag sa inyo, grammar police. Okay? So, yun nga, you can already compare and contrast because you are so keen with noticing some grammatical errors, then you will also be able to compare and contrast how different and similar Spanish grammar is to English. Next, right? So as I've said, yun nga, sabi ko kay Jaira, no? Spanish is one of the easiest languages to learn, right? So, because Spanish, hold on, Jara. Spanish is nearly phonetically perfect. Okay. You can almost look at it and pronounce the word or the letters, no? Anong ibig sabihin nito? Kung ano ang bigkas, siya ang baybay usually, and vice versa. Kung ano ang baybay, siya ang bigkas. Right? Usually. Okay? It doesn't have complicated way of pronouncing the letters. No? All right, just take a look at this one example, Copenhagen. Okay, we can pronounce that in English as Copenhagen because we already know, no, our alphabets, and G is G, Copenhagen. In Denmark, it is spelled as this, Copenhagen. Dun pa lang may differences na ng letters, no, Copenhagen. But when you also learn or when you hear how to pronounce this correctly, or when you hear this native people, their residents there, they pronounce this as Copenhagen. Okay. Copenhagen. No? So what happened? Yung V nagiging U. Sorry ha, I have to like change my position kasi sakit na ng, I was on the side. Okay. So Copenhagen. You didn't say na it's pronounced as U, no? Copenhagen. Because we all know that V is the Copenhagen. Okay. All right. So, but in Spanish, going back nga, Spanish, it's phonetically perfect. Kung ano ang bigkas, siya ang baybay, and vice versa. Most of the time. Okay. There are, of course, it differs from one dialect to another. For example, later on, as we go along sa Spanish, if you tend to hear these native speakers, if you get to hear these native speakers, rather, you will tend to hear na they drop this S. May mga drop na ng S, nag-iiba na yung C, naging th. But that is just the phonetic part of it. It's not really so much different. It's still the same, no? Somehow the same sa English. All right. We will be discussing phonetics next meeting. Okay. Now, if you learn now a third language, such as French, in our case, fourth na siya, given that we can already speak Spanish. So we have English, Filipino, Spanish. If we learn now fourth language, for example, French, Italian, Portuguese, or Romanian, it is already an advantage. We will be able to speak and learn and study it easily because it is similar to Spanish. Did you get the point? Did you get what I mean? Or what I just said? For example, you can already speak Spanish, no? Hypothetically. And if you want to study another language, which are these languages, magiging mas madali na because they are similar. And I can attest to that. Of course, I have been living in Europe for a couple of years, 2 years. I was also working in the cruise ship where I get to talk to Italian guests. And since I have a background of Spanish, I am also able, even if I did not take formal Italian language classes, I am able to understand what they're saying because there are some words that are similar, again, from Italian to Spanish. It's really true. Okay. I'm not sure with Romanian. I am not really familiar with that yet. I haven't heard some people speaking it, nor have the initiative to Google or watch it on online. I have not heard it yet. So yeah, not sure, but it's good to know, no? Right. So Spanish is the official language on 4 continents. What are those continents? These are North America, South America, Europe, and Africa. So if you go to these continents and you're able to speak Spanish, you're able to communicate with the people who are living here. Imagine 4 continents of the world. Okay. Let's take a look at North America. Of course, that means the USA alone. In USA, there are over 37 million Spanish speakers. Okay. This was dated a few years back. Okay. No, I'm not sure 2012 or 2010. No. But can you imagine? It's already 2022. So this number um has probably gone up, way, way up. Can you imagine that? Over 40% of the population growth will be among the Hispanic people. If you have not noticed it yet, in America, no, over 40%, a big number of population speaks Spanish. Huh? They don't just speak English; they already speak Spanish. Okay, especially no in California. That's why this is the picture, Hollywood. No, okay. In Europe naman, Spanish is the second most spoken language after English. So if you go to Europe and you can speak Spanish, wow, we can communicate to most people. Sorry? Sino yun? Who's that? Do you have something to share? Most, sorry. Hindi nag-appear yung screen ko kung sino yung nagsalita. Who's that? Can you share something?
Ma'am, sorry po, napindot lang.
Okay. All right. But parang hindi mo boses din. Anyway, so yeah. So in Europe nga, Spanish is the second most spoken language after English. All over the world, the national language of 21 countries is also Spanish. 21 countries. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Can you name all 21? Or at least can you name some? Let's see. Okay, let's see how fast can you name and think of these Spanish-speaking countries. Please don't Google it. Write them all in chat. Right? Write them all in chat. Now, based on your knowledge so far, which countries speak Spanish? Or, I mean, which countries have Spanish as their national language? Write them all in chat. You have 20 seconds. The more, the merrier. Okay. Let's see if you can get more correct answers. 10, 20 seconds, 10. Right. You have 20 seconds. You can also write not just one, no? You can write all of it already, all the countries that you can think of, no? And then send para hindi natin i-browse ng mahaba-haba. Yeah, right. Like Kathleen, no? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and stop. Okay, stop writing na, no? We will read that. Not one by one, but of course, I will quickly browse if you are correct. or if you've written something, no, something funny, like maybe some of you will write, no, like this, what else? I don't know. Okay, what's funny to me might not be funny to you. Anyway, so, and I don't want to offend you guys. So let's see. Baka naisulat niyo yan at na-offend kayo. Alright? So, just to be safe. Right? So far, some have written, or most have written correct answers. Yes? Yes? Okay. Alright. Not bad. Yeah? Good. Now let's see if you've written or your answers are correct. These are the countries that have Spanish as their national language. 21 countries. Ilan ang tamang sagot? How many answers did you get correctly without Googling? Okay? Please, please do not Google, no? And I hope you also do not use Google Translate, no? Especially if we are having our exam, our quizzes. I hope you don't use Google Translate because again, as I've said, you are lucky that you have Spanish class for language class. And if you don't really learn something after we finish this course, it's a waste of money and a waste of opportunity. Okay, so don't Google Translate. Okay, so going back, these are the countries that have Spanish as their national language rather. And if you don't know where are these countries, here is a map. Okay, let me remove the chat. So we have Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Chile, no? Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, no? These are all in the South America. Okay? So mostly South America, right? So this is good to know, especially for those of you who do not know where are these countries located in the map. Sometimes we tend to forget our world geography, but let's recall. I'm also one of you, one of those who are not really good at world geography. I don't remember where they are. One time I played a game with my friends here in Germany, and I am the kulelat one. Okay. No, our game is to guess what city or what country is that in the map. And then this game would show this colored shaded part of the world. And I'm like, I don't know. No, I have no idea. And all of them, no, they're Germans. That's why they are very keen to this geography, how many population, how high, kilometers, these kinds of things. They're keen to this really, and we tend to like not be aware of these details. Where is it located in the map? Is it north of what, east of what? Aminin nyo, no? Kayo, no? You don't know. All right. So at least now it's good to know where they located in the map. And also, we have one country in Africa that speaks Spanish, that has Spanish as their national language pala. If that's a new knowledge to you, no? Congratulations. Now you know. Equatorial Guinea. Okay? They speak Spanish pala. Okay? Of course, common knowledge, España, Spain. They speak Spanish. Where I am right now. Okay? I am in España right now, in Valencia. Okay? And it's super hot here. Grabe ang init. I will be staying here for until Tuesday, and then I will be coming back to Berlin again, Germany. All right. And I will be going back to Philippines next month, October. Right. So just to give you an overview, here is how big the Spanish speaking population is in each of these 21 countries. Okay. You can see there. You don't have to memorize the numbers, okay? This is just a minor part just to give you an idea, no? Overview of how many. There's United States also, okay? Colombia, Argentina, no? So Mexico, way, lots. It's too much, okay? Equatorial Guinea is the least with only 0.14%, but still they have Spanish as their national language. Any questions so far? Am I too fast? So not so much. Okay, all good. Now, if you will add that up, those numbers, it will add up to more than 500 million speakers. Okay, which makes now Spanish as the second most spoken native language in the world. Now, it is important to differentiate what is the difference between native language and second language. Do you all know the difference of it? There, I have written it there. Okay, anyone who can differentiate the two? Anyone? Wala? You have no idea what's the difference between native language and second language? None. No one's answering. Okay, no one's actively participating. You just want to, be spoon fed, or you want to be fed just with information. Know what I'm gonna say? It's nice if you somehow share some insights and opinions, right? I don't want to be the anyway, eventually I will not be the one who's going to talk the whole time as we proceed, because you will have to eventually speak Spanish time to time. No? Yep. Okay. We have an answer here. Native is the language they learn at birth, and second language is the one they were taught to learn. Okay. Thank you so much, Mark Anthony Nuneza. Right. Let me list that down for those with points and participating actively. Okay. Nuneza. All right. So he's correct. Whether you know it already or you read it somewhere. Yes, it's true. Language is what we learn at birth. Kung ano ang ating kinalakihan, what we speak at home, basically, no? Talk with our mom and dad. And second language is the one we learn or we learn at school. Okay, for example, in our case, most of us, Filipino is our native language, and our second language is English, correct? For most of us. Ewan ko lang sa inyo, kung sino sa inyo ang second language is English, no? Social. Sana all. I mean, ang native language is English, no? You talk to your mom and dad in English, so that's your, at birth, you're already speaking English. That's your native language. Social. Okay. Good. No? Sana all. Speaking English. All right. Okay. Spoken in dollar. All right. Going back, let me close that. But guys, no, I encourage, please use your microphone. Okay. Don't be shy to answer what you think, your opinion. All right. So it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. Important is you participate. Now, since Spanish is the second most spoken native language in the world, what comes first now is the Mandarin Chinese. It makes sense. Common sense na lang yan. Because native language is what we learn at birth. Ibig sabihin, population, no? Let's take a look at the population, and in the world, the Chinese people have the most number of population, 'di ba? It follows that Mandarin is the most spoken native language in the world with over 1.2 billion speakers. Okay. Mandarin Chinese is number one. Can you help me read this, Andre? Andre Tabuena.
Native English speakers used to be in second place. Things changed between the 60s and 80s. In 1963, US citizens made up 5% of the world's population. Today, they make up about 3% of the world's population. The US did not shrink, but populations outside the US more than doubled between 1960 and 1980. But English still dominates as the second language most spoken as a second language globally with over 978.2 million.
All right. So that's just basically, for those of you who are thinking what happened to the English language, no? Bakit hindi number one ang English? All right? Because there's a change between 60s and 80s, no? The world population has gone up, no? And of course, in the US rather, and of course, this makes up most of the Spanish speaking, right? But what happened to the English? English still dominates and still ranks as the number one, okay? Language that is most spoken as a second language. Okay, with over 978.2 million, and we are part of that number because we have English as our second language. So everyone agrees. It's obvious that English is the number one most spoken second language. All right. In another category, please don't get confused. Spanish is the fourth most commonly spoken language in the world in general. Okay. In general, regardless of native or second language. All right. Now, learning Spanish, besides being able to communicate to other people in all over the world, we would also be able to appreciate now the Hispanic culture. Okay. What are some of the very famous Spanish or Hispanic culture? We have here this picture of Corrida de Toros. Okay, Corrida de Toros. This is now bullfight. And the man you see there is called does any one of you know how or what do we call this man here in this picture?
Matador, ma'am.
Yes. How do you know that? Sino yun?
Makusi, ma'am.
Makosi. Okay. Do you know that already? Existing knowledge or you Googled it?
There's shows about it when I was a kid, ma'am.
Wow, you were watching bullfight when you were a kid? Or
It was
Sa
shown
Tom and
in
Jerry yan, ma'am.
what? Sa Tom and Jerry?
yeah, something like that, ma'am. Sa mga panloob ma'am.
Okay, and you remember Matador, okay? Good, good. You're correct. It's Matador. I had to Google that, but somehow I remember I think this word is familiar to me. Okay, Matador. Yes, this is the man who's holding this red cloth, no, to be chased by the bull. Right? Good. Of course, I'm not gonna show or encourage you to watch it. Probably, no. If you are interested or curious as to how it looks like, you can watch it on your own, no. But here, maybe, okay, baka may maipakitang hindi dapat, no. It's a little bit um animal friendly. We should be a little bit animal friendly. Okay. All right. But of course, it's always one part of the culture, and one culture sees it as an entertainment, as leisure, then be it. So be it. Okay. We respect that culture. All right. So what other culture? What other culture Spanish practices that they have? We have tapas y vino. We are enjoying that right here in Valencia. Okay. So we're having tapas and vino. Tapas are appetizers and wine, but sometimes this appetizers and wine is their full lunch, full meal. Okay. So this is how they usually spend their lunch. I am quite, of course, surprise or getting some adjustments, because when I first have that as a full meal, I think my body is not accepting it as a full meal, no? Because this bite size, small size what- meals, for example, no, tapas can come in different dishes, like it can be a bread on top is some spreads, dressing, meat or fish or whatever. Also, we have this meat cuts. Now, this can be tapas. It's different dishes, but the main thing is it serves as like snack size, bite size, small sizes. Na parang appetizers lang pang himagas, no? But for them, it's full meal. And, even if I had this and even if to them nakakabusog na, at the back of my mind, I feel like it's still like a merienda. Okay? Kasi maliliit lang, no? We are used to this plate, like plate full of rice, of pasta. That's a meal to us. But if we have this small, small sizes, parang appetizer lang, parang merienda. No? So that's a different culture. Okay? But yes, this is what they have. Tapas y vinos. What else? This movie. Okay? Who knows this movie? Who have
Coco.
watched this movie? Coco, yes. Who have not watched this movie yet? Raise your hand. Have not watched this movie yet. Okay, there are some of you who are not familiar with the movie. If not yet, please, no, it's highly, recommended. We can recommend it. Tama ba for those of you who have watched this? Nakakaiyak, right? Very tear-jerking movie. Okay? Yeah, but I really love this movie, Coco. I really cried, but yeah. Oh, somehow, yeah. But more to that is that we will get to see how the Spanish people celebrate the Day of the Dead, which is El Día de los Muertos in Spanish. Okay, El Día de los Muertos is Day of the Dead, right? They celebrate it quite differently as to how we celebrate the how do we call it? Uh is it correct? Pista ng mga patay? Is it? Yes, no, we have that. But it's so different as to how they celebrate it. So, yeah. Again, if you haven't watched this, you can watch this. And another is on the main screen, we have La Casa de Papel. Who have not watched this yet? Who among you? Okay, meron pa rin. Okay. All right. So if you haven't, no, Andre, you haven't yet. No, you should. You should watch this. Okay? Anyone? Ang dami naman. I thought this is like so famous. And I thought everyone was watching this. Grabe. This is really nice. It's how do you call this? Nakaka-hook, no? Nakaka-hook. You want to watch one episode after another. You cannot like stop from watching. Okay? So La Casa de Papel. La casa is house. De papel is made of paper. House of paper, house of money. In other words, it talks about the bank. It's like a figure of speech which talks about the bank. Okay. So these people are going to rob a bank. And there is where the action and thrill happens. It's really good storytelling, plot, amazing series. Okay. Again, if you have some time, no, especially if we are not meeting on our asynchronous, you can use that time to watch Spanish films, to watch Spanish series. Bulol, in fairness, okay? So to watch Spanish series. Use that time, no, to immerse yourself in Spanish language by watching series, watching films, listening to Spanish music. Okay, so I hope you will do that during our asynchronous meeting where I will not be giving you, no, where some activities. Just in case I did not give you activities, then use that time to watch, listen. Okay. All right. Question now is, are you ready to learn Spanish? With all these things that you can appreciate, you can immerse, are you ready? Yes, of course. Yes, there are no other options. No? Yes lang yung button na nilagay ko dyan because no, definitely big yes dapat. You should all be ready and excited and motivated to learn Spanish with me. Okay, few more slides here. Just a few more slides, no? Please help me read this. Craig Andre. Tama ba? Craig Andre?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. Please help me read this.
There are different dialects of Spanish. For example, in southern Spain, people tend to drop the final S sound of words. There are also different languages spoken in Spain: Castilian, Spanish, Catalan, Gallego, and Basque.
Thank you so much. Okay. So one important concept here is we have Castilian. Okay. So it's known outside Spain as Spanish. All right. So if you're outside Spain and people ask you, do you speak Castilian? No, for example, yeah, just basically outside Spain. And if they ask you that, it means they're asking if you can speak Spanish because Castilian now is the other word or term for Spanish. Okay. But it's important to know that Catalan, Gallego, and Basque is different now from Spanish. Okay. All right. It's the same here in the Philippines or there in the Philippines. You have we have different dialects, which is different from Tagalog, from Filipino, right? This is how we can compare it now with Castilian, Catalan, Gallego, and Basque. They're really different. Okay. So you already know, no, besides Spain and Latin America, Spanish is also spoken in the Philippines because that used to be one of our um common language spoken here way back, no, during the time of our great grandparents, maybe, no. And I wish that didn't change. I hope, no, sana ibalik nila yung requirement of Spanish in our uh educational system, no, because then it would make us globally competitive already at such a young age, no? Multilingual na tayo agad at such a young age. I couldn't help but, hope for that na sana hindi nagbago yun. Sana hindi na lang nila tinanggal, no? But anyway, right, let's see in the future, right? And that's why we have foreign language as your general electives. So still, okay, andun pa rin yung essence of us being globally competitive by learning languages. All right. We also have Morocco. We also have Equatorial Guinea and the United States. That you already know. Okay, now let's go to these cognates. What are cognates? Did you do that on your discussion board? Not yet. Yes? No. Yes? Okay. All right. So you already know that. Cognates are words that exist in two languages. It can be exactly spelled or similarly spelled. Some letters are changing, no, but it still have the same meaning. Okay, now we will be looking at English Spanish cognates. All right. This one you can read later on when you get to review and see this PowerPoint. Important is citing some examples. You already know the essence of it, right? So we have here familia, supermercado, banana, celebrar. Some of you might have written this already in the discussion board. Favorito, color, decorado, balón. Examples also los apartamentos, el hotel, silent H in Spanish, el hotel, el aeropuerto, el mapa, el operador, el tomate, and el melón. These are just examples of English, Spanish cognates. All right. But be aware, because we also have false cognates. These are similar in spelling but different in meanings. All right. An example is actually. If we look at this, actually in English, we all think actualmente is the same as actually, but no, it's different. Actually in Spanish is en realidad o realmente. Okay, these are now false cognates because they have the same, they have different no, translation. It's not really actualmente, but en realidad o realmente. If you use actualmente, it means currently in English. See the difference? That is false cognates. They are almost the same spelling. They have almost the same spelling, but different meaning. All right. So you can, later on, I will be asking you to research on more false cognates. Yeah. All right. It's a little bit noisy here. Okay. All right. So as for you to understand more, no, what are the other false cognates and for you to avoid using them, you can also do that on your own initiative later. Okay. So example sentence. Sorry for that. Example sentence you have, if you want to use actual, he has retired, but he is still an actual leader. Okay. No. The meaning here is he is still a real leader in essence, even if he is already retired. And if you want to use that and translate that in Spanish, se ha retirado, pero todavía él es un verdadero dirigente. Okay. Another example, I'm satisfied with my current income. No, what you are getting as of the moment. And if you want to translate that in Spanish, estoy satisfecho con mi salario actual. And actual here is like English. It's very much the same. It's exactly the same in English, actual leader, but they have different meanings. I hope you already understand that by now, right? Hey, oh, that was short. That was so fast. Gracias por su atención. Okay, that ends our PowerPoint or Module 1 discussion. Good. But our Zoom will be ending. We will have to open a new Zoom link because I will be checking attendance. Okay? All right. So let's open a new Zoom link now. Okay? So I can check attendance. All right? Before we, okay. See you in a while.